Not bad.
Abernathy's chipper today. Guess he wasn't plagued.
Well, looks like
The pause menu, though, I think they could do a little bit more with this pause menu. You know what I mean? Like it feels
to tell us.
kind of bland for a pause menu.
State of
But
mind.
anyways, we are gonna take a very quick break, guys. I hope everyone has been enjoying the stream, and we are gonna be back very shortly. We will be playing more when I get back. I'm gonna take about a 5-minute break, and yeah, just give me a few, guys. Be right back. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back, guys. How's everyone doing? Everyone doing alright still? I gotta say this much about this game. I am definitely enjoying the game so far. It's a pretty freaking great game. Pretty great. I mean, we're only like about 2.5 hours in, but I'm enjoying it so far. You know, it's a pretty neat game. Pretty neat. So yeah, we're gonna get it back up and going. Hope everyone's been enjoying it, and yeah, let's get this going again. So do we want to do Stranger in Strangeland or Die Robot? I think we're probably gonna do Die Robot. Because the way I typically play is I typically play where I do side quest first and I do main quest last. That's the style that I've played these type of games and all that stuff in my face. Sounds good. Oh shoot, so this... Oh hey, it tells you all the shit in there. Okay, that's good to know.
Right.
Sometimes I wonder what I'm doing with myself.
Nothing I can do about that.
Alright, Bert Bertel Cotton from the Spacer's Choice Department Retirement Writ Evacuation. Effective immediately for Bert Colton, former vicar station in Edgewater Vicarage, no longer a good standing by with Hollison Branch or Scientific Inquiry at large and dangerous. Wanted for destruction of company property, murder of company workers in good standing, sedation, and unauthorized use of medical supplies. Generous bounty payment delivery must be able to sign your own name. See Constable Reyes for details. Wanted for destruction of company property, murder, and yada yada. Same stuff. Yeah. So pretty much we would go talk to the constable or whatever. We're not doing that just yet though. Ooh. There's loot to be found in the city as well, I see.
Abernathy's chipper today.
Alright. Help the chairman and Minister Clark defeat our foes. It still looks gorgeous. Like, given the right lighting, this game looks beautiful. During the day, I'll say that. Daytime is the most beautiful part of this game. So we're gonna go kill a robot. Alright, so we did level up. Go over to skills. Okay. Accept. Go to perks. Alright, let's see. Plus 50% base health. That will come in handy. I'll say that much. That's why I went with that. Lock second story balcony door. Ooh, okay. Messages from R. Tubston. Hey boss, just wanted to check up on a new Saltuna light project. I've been brainstorming some new taglines for the product line, and I think some of them will really catch our customers' attention. From T. Robinson. Dear Lawrence, I appreciate your hard work on behalf of our beloved brand of Saltuna. Just received a response from the corporate. They're not interested in your idea of light version of Saltuna brand because we'd rather not compete with ourselves. But they are interested in the idea of a lighter salt tuna. Effectively, immediately, we may have instructed to use heavier weight cans so we can pack them with less salt tuna, therefore saving bits on every can. This is exactly the kind of breakthrough in our cannery needs. In fact, the logistics department has just confirmed that they've requested you have transferred from the marketing division to the cannery. Can you imagine, Lawrence? You'll be rubbing elbows with your fellow coworkers in the canning line, filling each slightly heavier with a slightly less salt tuna. Hour after hour, day after day, this is a great and tremendous honor for you and me. Effective immediately, your position in marketing division has been terminated. I expect you to report your foreman tomorrow morning. Your uniform will be deducted from your pay. Welcome. What the fuck? Turner route. Personal files. Ideas for salt tunnel light taglines. Melts on your fork, not in your mouth. Less fat with more saltuna flavor. It's brine time. Now with the satisfying crunch of cartilage. Can't spell saltuna without salt. Note, also can't spell saltuna with ants. Potentially a market toward families? Leading scientists say, it's still food. Saltuna will thank you. Warning, may cause audio hallucinations. We'll add more later. Okay. It definitely has the Obsidian charm to its comedy, I'll say that. Wee. Okay. Can we go in here? Yes, we can. Like, you just get a real sense of the humor that Obsidian has in general, you know. Junkyard discovered. Freaking revolver, heck yeah.
Searching for repair bay. Error. Navigation systems failed. Unable to comply.
Snarky. Are you damaged?
Damage to navigation systems detected. Attempting to return to designated repair bay. Error. Navigation systems failed.
This is a junkyard, not a repair bay.
Navigation systems have determined this location as Spacer's Choice, designated mechanical repair bay. Attempting to misdirect or confuse a Spacer's Choice mechanical is a punishable offense. Please report yourself to your supervisor.
Bro, I don't have the skills to repair this guy. What the fuck? All right. I kind of had to. I mean, I didn't have the option to do the thing. I mean, I could have came back later, but I didn't feel like it, so. Let's go have a word with this guy.
Bring us honor, soldier.
I don't have to worry about that scout anymore.
You beat that scout to scrap with its own legs? Pulled its optic cables out its head case? Actually, don't tell me. Rather use my imagination. You're a passing fair soldier, I will confess. But you are one, and the enemy is legion. What you need is an equalizer. A weapon to strike fear in their cold mechanical hearts. Cantina, lavatory, behind one of the toilets. That's where I've kept it hidden all these years.
Hid your secret weapon in a lavatory?
Sharp, ain't it? The lavatory is the very last place a mechanical has need to enter.
It is true. I'll let you know if I find it.
On the double, soldier. Don't want the bartender poking around in there with a mop. Bring us honor, soldier. Go on.
All right, so let's go to the lavatory real quick. Interstellar Championship. Rizzo's Rangers versus Spacer's Chosen. Alright.
Wonder if the plague's ever gonna pass.
How much cash do we got?
The day at
Still,
the cannery.
still not enough yet.
Go knock in your work.
latest report?
Only the part that said we ain't making our quotas.
I don't know you.
I'm Nick.
Amelia Kim, Spacer's Choice Beverage Dispenser. I don't know what you're about, but this here's a Spacer's Choice drinking establishment. We're all loyal, hardworking company folk here.
Are you now? Something going on here that I should know about? And what a fine establishment it is.
You really think so? That's kind of you. I've been trying to keep the floors clean. You got no idea how long it takes to scrub the tiles. Guess I misreckoned you. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to be curt. We just got some problems lately. I can get you a drink if you'd like. Gotta ask you to enjoy your beverage within the premises, though. Can't risk you bringing a drink over to those deserters. You understand.
What's this about deserters?
Traitors. The lot of them. Bunch of folks decided they were tired of working and went out into the wilds to fend for their own selves. Town's already struggling to make quotas, even without that band of slackwits abandoning their posts. Bunch of lazy, shiftless rung leeches. Anyway, enough about them. What can I do for you?
I'll talk to Reed. Where can I find him? Just felt like chatting.
Go ahead.
So what's your
I
story?
don't see how that's any of your business.
I'm trying to judge you. I'm just curious.
You're the first to ask after me in some time. I'll give you that. But I don't have a story to share. My family's worked Spacer's Choice for 2 generations, and I've lived in Edgewater just about all my life. Wanted to work in the sciences once upon a time. Would you believe it? That was a wild fancy. Glad I disabused myself.
It's like Spacer's Choice took care of you. So you had a dream of being a scientist. What happened?
What happened, you ask? What always happens when you're dreaming? I woke up. I just didn't have the brains for it. Asked too many questions. Wasn't suited to the work. So I did the right thing and worked the life I was always meant to live. Now that I'm behind a bar, I can ask all the questions I want. Important ones. Like, when are you gonna pay your tab? And would you like another round of cold, refreshing Zero-G?
Asking questions is a foundation of science. The best scientists ask too many.
Don't talk to me that way, please. Spent many years disabusing myself of that notion. Don't need you putting it back in my head. Lab work ain't for me. Never was. Never will be. Spacer's Choice put me where I belong, and for that I am grateful.
Sounds like Spacer's Choice took care of you.
They did. They gave me a life. Gave me a purpose. This is where I belong.
Been scrubbing dishes all your life?
What's wrong with that? It's good, honest work. Pots and pans don't scrub themselves. Glasses don't fill themselves either. Unless you're in Byzantium. I hear everything's automated there. Not that I'll ever find out.
Thanks for the story.
Not so fast. I told you about my life. Your turn to tell me about yours.
Oh, okay.
So, what's your story?
You wouldn't believe it if I told you.
That right? Prove it.
Last survival of culinary ship Hope. Everyone else is frozen. Trying to be on this planet with no way other than a broken down ship. Last survivor of culinary ship Hope. Everyone else is frozen.
I know that serial drama. They were playing it just the other night. What was it called? The Last Spacer? You're right. I don't believe you. I'd advise you to keep that story unsaid. Don't want people thinking you're a loon.
I just got shot into space by a crazy scientist.
Ugh, is this the start of a joke? If you want me to laugh at your jokes, it's a 3-drink minimum.
In that case, let me see what's on tap. I'm not joking, my escape pod landed in the hills on top of a guy.
Look, I don't know what you're blathering about. If you took a blow to your skull, you really should settle down with some zero-G. Anyhow, whatever happens outside the walls is not my business. Only deserters and marauders wander out there, and I cannot tell you which I revile more. My world is these four walls, that door, and a row of mugs that need cleaning.
It almost sounds like you're afraid to go outside.
Let me make something clear. Spacer's Choice has been real good to me. The town's been real good to me. I start gallivanting around outside the walls, poking around in places I shouldn't be, learning things I've got no right to know. People will talk. Won't ever catch me asking about the world outside. Else the town's gonna say Amelia's gone soft. That Amelia's pondering desertion. I don't want that.
I think it's a mistake living your life in everyone else's terms. I think it's a mistake living your life on everyone else's terms.
There you go with that thinking again. Didn't anyone ever tell you it's dangerous? I've said enough. People come here to drink their problems away. If they wanted to face their problems, they'd go see our vicar.
I should go. Dude, she had a lot to say, like, holy shit. And she's only a bartender, you know, and she had a lot to say. That's awesome. Like, just that attention to, like, detail with the characters and stuff. Aw, god damn it. I gotta run all the way around again. I hope that they, do a patch for that to where it points you to the nearest door to the nearest location, you know? Like, there's like, as far as I know, there's 3 doors to the settlement. As far as I know. And one of them obviously goes out over here where I can talk to this guy.
Bring us honor, soldier.
I found the package you mentioned.
Feast your eyes, soldier. This here's a genuine Spacer's Choice injury customizing unit, designed to deliver a lethal blast of electrical discharge. I call it the Hand of the Law.
Ooh.
You ever want to see a mechanical flailing around like a grounded fish? You stick a couple thousand volts in its guts. With compliments from old Ludwig.
How do I use this injury customizing unit exactly?
There's a workbench right through this door. Attach that unit to your favorite weapon and go forth into glorious battle.
Ooh.
Time's come for you to journey down into the black heart of the enemy's camp. I'm talking about the old geothermal plant. Unfortunately, the old plant lies outside my board-given jurisdiction. You'll need to get a passcode from the boss, Reed Thompson.
Okay, I feel like I'm going to regret getting mixed up in this. What do you expect I'll find down there?
I need you to get us the brain of a mechanical. Well, not exactly a brain. Anatomically speaking, what we're looking for is a logic module.
Seems simple enough. How am I supposed to get one of those logical modules?
There's the rub. If a mechanical breaks down, the logic module fries. So you can't rip one out of its corpse. You're gonna have to find an intact model somehow.
What are you planning?
Don't tell anyone, all right? I've got a contact. A real expert in the inner workings of the automaton. We are gonna rip those mechanical secrets right out of their circuits.
Awesome. Seems simple enough. Perception. Edgewater is in the middle of nowhere. You don't have a contact.
Well, excuse me. What I meant was I'm going to get a contact. Didn't know I had to be all prissy about my grammar around you.
Seems simple enough.
If you die horribly, I will pour out a can of zero-G to your memory.
I'll let you I'll let you be. I need to find a workbench, which he has right here. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. That's fucking awesome. So either way, we gotta go talk to Reed now. We've gotten to that point that's like, I gotta talk to the guy, essentially.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
Good elevator music.
Please, Holcomb, I need to explain this address. The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
You read, I was told I should talk to you.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
think you may have the wrong idea about me.
Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
My ship needs repairs. I'm looking for a power regulator.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Huh. Let me hear it.
There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
When you say mostly abandoned, what do you mean?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
I don't think these people will take kindly to losing their power.
No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
You want me to solve your deserter problem? Charged by the head.
My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab.
Okay.
Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
Alright, I'll see what I can do to help you. How will I recognize Andadel?
Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
If Andadel doesn't want to come back?
That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
Alright, Reed, I'll see what I can do to help you.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Sure, I could use the company.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Let's get going. CNP new manager seminar. Companions. You gain a companion. They are characters that join you in your adventures and help you in a variety of ways. Plus, companions provide combat support. Their skills enhance your skills. They increase your carrying capacity. You can unlock special companions' combat abilities with inspiration skill. Learning more about your companions in the companion ledger. Okay. Quest before they will assist you. You can check your quest. Okay.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
If you could see your way to getting us our power back, I'd appreciate it.
I wanted to ask you about something.
Go ahead.
Have you taken a look around your town lately?
It is my job to keep two eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post.
How long have you worked here?
I'm trying to remember, 25 years, 26. When you get to my age, the years just rush by. You stop counting altogether. I remember looking out this window and seeing the veils spread out from horizon to horizon. We were a sprawling town. We were booming. Times change, people change, but the Veil will always be here. Spacer's Choice will always be here. Our work won't ever end. I take comfort in that.
Let me ask you something else. You're loyal to Spacer's Choice?
This is a Spacer's Choice town. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. The company keeps us warm, keeps us fed, keeps us working. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. This is good old-fashioned gratitude.
Let me
Go
ask you
ahead.
something else. What makes you think I can convince those deserters to come back?
That you are not one of us may work to your advantage. Adelaide and her folk loathe the people of Edgewater, you see. I admit the fault was mine. I'm about as diplomatic as a bristling canid. I just hope Adelaide and her folk will see their way past my flaws and return to town.
Don't blame yourself.
I must. The burden of leadership is responsibility. If my workers walked out on Edgewater, then I have failed them. Yes, we have lost good workers to desertion. We have lost even more to plague. But it is why we must square our shoulders and carry on.
Yeah, have personal history?
Losing Adelaide was the hardest. She was our only flavor specialist. When she walked away, I knew we were in trouble. Spacer's Choice Saltuna is renowned across the system for its quality flavors and additives. We used to sell citrus-flavored Saltuna in our heyday. Ever since Adelaide left, we have been reduced to selling unflavored and spearmint.
Oh.
Go ahead.
You expect to talk to Adelaide person. Could use a little information.
Adelaide was our only flavor specialist. We are a Saltuna canning institution. Saltuna without flavor is like a cysty pig without tumors, borderline inedible.
Many people eat anything other than Saltuna?
Word up to me, friend. I'd stack our larders with Saltuna galore. No other brand of Saltuna adds as much vim or vigor to the body's humors. But, and this is something we must keep between the two of us, Saltuna is hard to come by. What with being a species indigenous to the seas of another world.
Hang on, so what are you canning here exactly?
Oh, we've scavenged together some organic material from the surrounding environs. Mostly organic, mostly local mushrooms.
Huh.
Some of which possess a texture akin to a well-boiled slab of Saltuna. The difference is all but impossible to detect to any but the prissiest of palate.
Let me ask
Go
you something
ahead.
else. Need to have a word about this plague.
Can we not? Talking about unpleasant things always gets my bile up.
You withhold medicine from your own workers?
If I had enough medicine to treat everyone who fell sick, I would, but I don't. I can't save everyone. So I have to choose.
It can't be easy for you.
It is not easy for me. And the moment it becomes easy is the moment I am no longer fit to serve. Spacer's Choice is a family, and the survival of the family is more important than the survival of the individual.
How long has this plague been happening?
That I cannot say. There was no moment when the plagues began. Disease always lurks on the fringes of society, waiting to infect the idle and the lethargic. But in the last 10 years, the plagues have become progressively worse and increasingly frequent.
Alright, medical. You should have developed immunity after repeated exposure to a single strain of conjuin.
Corporate doesn't like us using the word should. It encourages the imagination. I believe plague is a test. It is a test of our loyalty and our fortitude, and it is one we will see through to the end. Go ahead.
I should go. Okay. So I asked them all our questions. We should be good. Oh.
Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
About the deserters, so what's the other side of it?
To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
Can't blame anybody for wanting to leave. This town's got issues.
Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse.
Oh.
I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
Okay, I suppose it couldn't hurt. We'll stop by. What do we need to talk to Vicar about? Flipping a switch to your power mill? Where would I find him?
The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it, on account of it being the only clean thing.
So as it couldn't hurt, we'll stop by.
Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Alright, so it's the only place that's clean, I guess she said.
Wish we had some better rations.
Abernathy's chipper today.
Alright. I really like this place. It looks really good.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Our place in the universe is fixed.
Hey there, Mary. Don't see you around here too often.
Oh, I just came to talk to the vicar is all. None of us are above confessionals.
What have you got to confess?
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
That's interesting how the ear does that. Like, I've been noticing that in this game, and it's just because of the way the lighting is in the room. But that's interesting. That looks pretty realistic. What I wanted to talk to you about, Reed asked us to do.
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Cut off the power to Adele's deserters.
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
What do you think of Adelai's group, Vicar?
They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
Depends on how well the leader can provide beyond the walls.
Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp. So that's not a variable I can account for.
So what do you advise?
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Sounds like I've got my work cut out for me. Thank you for your time.
If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume.
Why is that?
One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
Handsome sum, you say? Tell me more.
It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious?
Would Vicar be after a banned heretical book?
I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption.
Make a compelling argument. I need to know a bit more about this book before I agree to this.
It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early thinker on the nature of man's place in the cosmos. Not many in this colony could understand its true value, should they ever read it.
I'll look for your book.
Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Yeah, huh?
Notice you mention your dad a lot, but never your mother.
That's on account of how I never met her.
You mean she's dead? How's that possible?
She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
Is that normal?
I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers.
You mentioned something earlier that I wanted to ask you about.
You mean about the mission being too clean?
It's supposed to be clean. It's a church.
I know, but Vicar says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicar sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
Alright. You're a mechanic. Whenever you see a machine, it's in need of fixing?
Fixing the universe is a job for somebody way better than the likes of me.
Let's get back to it. Alright, so I'm going to make another save. Alright, I'm going to take another very, very short break. And when I get back, we will continue. We will continue playing some. Literally give me about 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll be right back. And I'm going to leave it right here. And I'll be back very shortly, guys. Alright, so we're gonna play another 10 minutes, and then I'm probably gonna have to check something again real quick. But yeah, let's keep playing some of this. Yeah, I don't want to keep y'all on like a freaking like 10-15 minute break or something like that, you know, because I'm waiting on something, you know. Mainly, I just got stuff that needs to be done. All right, let's take a look around here.
You think corporate's ever gonna visit?
See if we've missed any
I'm not
things.
allowed in here. Not since the vending machine incident.
Holcomb. Miss Holcomb ain't allowed in this establishment. Not since that little incident.
What incident?
Ask her if you care. I'm running a business here.
I won't touch anything while we're in here, Mr. Moreau. I promise.
Music to my ears.
But we still can't buy it. We still can't afford it. Oh, hey, I get a 9% discount though. That's not bad. Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, huh?
I mentioned something earlier I wanted to talk to you
You
about.
mean why I'm not allowed in the store anymore?
There seems to be a story there.
There was a kind of a thing with a vending machine when I was 12.
Did you steal from it or something?
Not intentionally. I've always been good with my hands, right? So I saw a lock on the machine and thought, oh, this must be how they refill it. But I had to know. So I did my thing. And next thing I know, there's a couple hundred bottles of Zero G rolling out the front door and into the road.
You picked a lock on a vending machine?
Well, sure. They're not tough. Even back then, before I got real good at that sort of thing. Right about then, a bunch of loaders came rolling in the gate, fresh off the Saltuna ships. And Mr. Thompson was up on the porch making a speech about how everyone would have to volunteer a third shift to get it all canned. Anyhow, you ever seen an auto loader run over a bottle of Zero G?
It explodes all over him. I get it. Can we move on? Go on?
Exploded all over Mr. Thompson. One bottle after another as the loaders went by.
Oh.
I was just shy of working age, so Dad had to pay all the damages. Moreau's still angry at me. I can laugh about it now, but I just about puked up my guts in terror in the moment. That's the one time I ever made Mr. Thompson look a fool.
That's freaking hilarious. Like, they even have like little stories for like, you know, like...
You're not a big drinker, are you? Yeah, huh? In the bar? When I asked if you were a drinker?
You sound worried.
Sorry. I know, it's none of my business.
I'm gonna guess you're not a drinker yourself.
Strong drink makes me sick. And it makes me real sad. I start thinking about things I oughtn't, and then... Well, never mind that. You got better things to think on. Sorry.
Everybody needs to cut loose now and again.
I'm just not everybody, I reckon.
Friend of mine died a couple weeks back. Still ain't back.
I've never actually been in here. Seemed scary from the outside.
What do you think you're doing?
Uh-oh.
Sorry for the misunderstanding.
I didn't mean to do that. Constable Reyes.
Welcome to the Spacer's Choice Constabulary. We are Halcyon's leading brand in frontier justice. The office is writing a promotion. Purchase 3 criminal investigations and the 4th one's free.
Need help with your marauder problem? I'm for hire. Got some questions for you if you don't mind.
As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity.
Does the name Phineas Wells mean anything to you?
His likeness decorates many a wanted poster. Do you have any relevant information about this individual?
He's a scientist. We're acquainted.
I am obliged to warn you against forming acquaintanceships, friendships, partnerships, or any felicitous relationship with a wanted criminal. I am also obliged to inform you of our referral program. For every criminal you refer to the authorities, the board will reward you.
Well, it saved my life. I want to know why the board wants him dead.
I am obliged to remind you that questioning the veracity of the board's orders is a punishable offense. Consider this your last warning.
How long has this board been after Wells?
Wells has been wanted for as long as the board decides he has been wanted. This decision will be made in accordance with Wells's behavior upon arrest. Unfortunately, the arrest of Mr. Wells falls outside my authority. I enforce the company policy of Spacer's Choice in the region of Emerald Vale. Wells is wanted by the board. If you have information related to the location of Phineas V. Wells, you are required to submit that information to your nearest board authority.
There was one other thing.
Something to report?
You need help with your marauder?
As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity.
Why do you work for Spacer's Choice or Edgewater?
If this is a setup to a joke, you should know I've never found anything amusing in my life. I don't serve Edgewater. Edgewater and the entire region of Emerald Vale serve Spacer's Choice.
Why is Spacer's Choice answered to?
Spacer's Choice is a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Defense Logistics, which occupies a seat on the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, also known as the Board. I must admit it bothers me that you don't already know this.
You're basically a bureaucrat?
Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. The bureaucracy is a noble profession, but not all of us are gifted enough to serve in it.
Alright,
Something to report?
You need help with a marauder problem. I'm for hire.
As a Spacer's Choice constable, I am authorized to grant you legal authority toward apprehending wanted criminals. Know how to carry yourself in a fight? I've got bounties out for these 3 marauders. Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just 1 per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller.
Alright, goodbye. Alright. Oh, I didn't see the wanted poster right there. That's interesting. Open bounties. Background. Former Spacer's Choice Associate Mechanic terminated for his position. Spacer's Choice Department retirement termination restriction is Bill DeWritt, execution of Gilman Gill Antrim, effective immediately. Some of you may remember Gil Antrim in his days at Cannery. Please be advised that Spacer's Choice no longer recognizes Mr. Antrim as a member of the valued family. Spacer's Choice has advised its workers in good standing to remain in good standing with disabusing themselves from sympathy, allegiance, or memory toward Mr. Antrim. Generous bounty payment on delivery must be able to sign your own name. Okay. Doc Melville, former Spacer's Choice physician, abandoned their duties and disappeared from Edgewater at large, considering dangerous. Oh, Bertie Cotton, former vicar acting on behalf of the Order of Scientific Inquiry, stationed to the Edgewater vicarage, suffered psychological breakdown upon showing symptoms of plague at large and dangerous. Alright.
A friend of mine died a couple weeks back. Still ain't past it.
Just the way it goes, I suppose.
This is where the magic happens. Well, science. But it... Hey, that's... I mean, if you need it, okay.
Because she's our companion, we can take everything that's in here, I guess.
Yeah, huh?
We don't have enough. Now, obviously, I'm going to explore every little inch of this place if I can.
If you're hungry, I could open up a can of something.
Could open up a can of whoop ass.
My dad's... It's an office. Just my office.
Last search. First entry. Adumani left Edgewater today. She's been reassigned to Terra 1. I kissed her goodbye at the platform and asked if I could ever see her again. We both knew the answer was no. Looked up, think of me as I'll look up to think of you. Note of Endemani. Robert, they wouldn't let me keep her, but I knew I will raise her with love, perhaps more than I would make time for her. You're patient, present in the way that I am not. The company says she has no name until you give her one. Her name is Pravati. They tell her birthday will be set on the date she is legally delivered to you. She is actually born on July 7th. Makes her feel special when I can't. She liked it when I sang to her. It was the only time she stopped crying. Return to roots. Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering. Open last entry. Sat up last night reading through Young Spacer's Guide. Almost started reading it out loud from the habit. It's been 10 years, but I still have parts of it memorized. Reckon I'll make the next volume into work in the cannery. There's an unusual office where I've been taking my lunches. May as well have read the whole thing along again. Okay. Let's see.
Oh, you like flowers? I can't find many kinds around here. If you need to go, I'll wait outside. I don't like coming out here. People on the streets stare. Where are we headed?